Good evening. Welcome, everybody. We got some new faces out there. It's good to see. I'd like to call the City of North Augusta City Council study session for Monday, July the 8th, 2024 to order. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to our Assistant City Administrator, Mr. J.D. McCall, is in the house with us. All yours, sir.
Great. Good evening, Mayor and Council. We're going to go over the agenda for tonight's study session. First thing we go through is we're going to go through our agenda for next week. So if you'll turn to that, we'll go through that first, then we'll go to the department details, and then we have a guest tonight to go over our timeline for GovSense software. So going through our agenda for next week, we have a proclamation for Good Samaritan recognition. More to come on that next week, as well as personnel. We have our Employee of the Quarter, which will be announced as well. So that'll be exciting. It's kind of hard to choose from. We have a lot of good employees. So going into the old business portion of the agenda, number 7 is planning and development. These are this is going to be a second reading. This is for amending our uses in our development code. So for parcel zone P, we're going to allow uses by a nonprofit, and that comes under a special exception. So that's an adjustment to the development code to allow things like Arts and Heritage Center to be in our building, which they already are, and Chamber of Commerce to be in our community center, and also some future plans that we might have out at the Country Club property, partnering with nonprofits. So that's going to be helpful for us moving forward. Number 8 is also old business, is second reading. This is just changing the property by McDonald's. We discussed that at length, I believe, for the first reading. So if there's no questions about those two old businesses, we'll turn to new business. And item number 9, I'm going to turn that over to Kelly to talk about, because that's going to be details on adjusting our master development agreement, just a minor change or minor adjustment. So Kelly, I'll kick that over to you for a little more explanation.
Okay. As you all are aware, over the last month, we have made some changes to the master development agreement, and then we did the inducement agreement, and we've also made some changes to the parking agreement. What this all really does, it doesn't change any of those documents. It just changes who is now getting the benefit of them and the responsibility for them. Those were negotiated with Greenstone. Greenstone is selling the property to South City. And what these documents, what this resolution does is just allows us to agree to that transfer, and it gives South City, once they close out and buy the property, those rights and the responsibilities they have under the agreement. And then the joinder it makes it that by them now signing the joinder agreement, it's the same as if they were an original signer of the agreement.
Just another positive step.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Kelly. Yep, moving in the right direction on that one. If there's no questions about that item, we'll move on to item 10, which is an addition. It's not on the agenda you received, but it's an addition for next week. It's Resolution 2024-30. This is something you've seen before. It's the hearing officer for a business license, for business license hearings. We've had it before, and it has lapsed, and so we want to extend this appointment from July 1 to the end of the year. So it's something you've seen before. We're just going to extend. Kelly, obviously this is in your neck of the woods, so if you wanted to jump in on this.
No, it's just basically we had anticipated that possibly anything that took place with the business licenses would have taken place by now. We see the possibility that there may be something in the future, so we're going ahead and being prepared in the event we have any appeals.
We need to do this again starting next year, just as a precaution? Or?
Yeah, if starting next year, and I think part of the situation is too, the person that we're naming, we would have to check with him again next year, see if he would be available.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. And with that, I believe that concludes, if there's no additions, Jamie, that concludes our agenda for next week. If there are no questions from mayor and council, we'll move on to our second item for agenda for today's session, which is our department details, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Jamie Paul.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First up for department details is Finance, Linda Williamson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My two updates were that Cycle 2's due date will be July 15th, and just as a reminder, there's no disconnections for the month of July. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Linda.
Linda, real quick, the software rollover, that's not going to affect anybody who's on automatic pay by any chance?
No, but we will get to that in our second presentation.
Next up, Public Services, in for is Roy Kibler.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Let's have your
Filling in for James Sutton tonight. The Material Recovery Division received a $15,750 grant from the South Carolina Department of Environmental Services to purchase commercial recycling dumpsters. These dumpsters will be provided to businesses to improve the recovery of recyclable materials.
How much was that? 15,000?
$15,750.
Okay.
I don't know how many dumpsters.
Do you know how a business would go about getting one?
I would imagine calling out at the operation facility, and Rebecca will take the order, and she'll probably transfer to Jason Sykes, who's the superintendent of sanitation.
Okay. Sounds good.
Good job, Roy. Thank you, sir.
Next up, Planning and Development, Tommy Paradise.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We'll have the Planning Commission July 17th. I'll be going to the Arts Technical Coordination Committee meeting on Wednesday, and then the South Carolina Arts TCC meeting that afternoon, all about transportation. Code enforcement's been busy. 760 and 770 West Martintown Road have been remediated by the city. We're going back to 770. We looked at it today, and it needs a little bit more work. The contractor's supposed to be out there working on it some more today. 1819 Marion Avenue has been cleaned by the city. 1306 Concord Avenue is set to be remediated tomorrow, including the removal of 2 junk cars. In 1831 Roan Avenue, that's Mr. Kirby Ash's house. Y'all might remember that one. We got complaints about it last year. He has cut his grass, and so we're kind of waiting on the rest of it to see. We're going to reach out to him if he's going to do it, or if we're going to need to clean the rest of it for him.
He owns those other 2 houses.
He did. He does. He didn't do anything. He didn't touch those. And then Mr. Presnell, I didn't put this on there. I forgot about you, but I didn't forget about you. You had called me about 811 Riverview, and that has been remediated. That was remediated a couple weeks ago. And I want to thank you. If we hadn't got that call from whoever called him to ride by that house from the street, everything looked good. I rode by there before code enforcement went out there and says, "Where's the complaint?" Went back with code enforcement when we go in the backyard. Whole different story. So that's it for us.
Landon's doing a good job. Thank you, Tommy.
Yes. Well, we got 2 now. We got.
That's right. That helps, right?
Yeah. Chief Johnson for Public Safety is next.
Good evening. Last year, you remember we worked extensively on reworking the way we do our tow service through public safety. So far this year, first 6 months, all went well. But we just recently had to adjust the schedule because one of the record companies is no longer has a yard that's within 5 miles of the city in South Carolina. So we've notified all the records that their 1 week will have to be adjusted a week earlier throughout the rest of the year. And we went ahead and let them know to make sure they have their letters in by October 1st to get on the 2025 list.
You feel good about the way it's been going, the process?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's okay.
Yes, sir. We've the only complaints we had was one record complaint. They only got like 5 tows 1 week and 23 the other week. So, but when you do week to week, we can't control it.
Yes, 28. That's business. Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Sir? No, sir. There was no complaints on that week.
No.
Thank you.
Next up, Park and Recreation, Rick Meyer.
Good evening. Two of our athletic center program coordinators, Tyler Roush and Terrence Childs, passed the National Alliance of Youth Sports certification, and they are now certified youth sports administrators, which is good for our staff. Number two, this Friday, July 12th, begins the 28th Nike Peach Jam tournament at Riverview Park Activity Center. So a busy 10 days, July 12th through the 21st for our staff coming up. And last, Greenway. If folks are out on the Greenway today, and which we've already had one tour today, all the trash cans and bollards have a fresh coat of paint on them. And also, staff will be installing 2 new water fountains that are courtesy of North Augusta Ford, as purchased for us, will be installed this week. That will not take care of all of the water fountains that we have an issue with presently, but it should have them all working. So working on taking care of all of those.
Greg did a great job on the trash cans and bollards. They look really good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Next up, Tourism Department, Carl Waldhauer.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I know it was mentioned a time or two before, but 803 night's coming up, August 3rd. Really want y'all to circle that date. It's an important day for us. Event's going to start at 4 p.m. with Cody Webb concert in the amphitheater. And 5 o'clock, we're going to take an intermission and do a ribbon cutting for the reopening of Sharon Jones Amphitheater and a couple special announcements. And after the concert's finished, the Green Jackets are going to have first pitch at 6:35, and they're running a special $8.03 for a ticket that night. It's also fireworks night. I don't know if it's anybody's rotation, but the Visit North Augusta website is currently down, but that was by design. Our vendor contract has expired, and we're going to take that website in-house and kind of handle that ourselves. And expecting the 1st of August, we're going to have a revamped website and roll out. Couple events. Arts and Heritage Center is sponsoring a lecture this Thursday at 3 p.m. in this room right here, Council Chambers. The subject's going to be the North Augusta Dispensary, and the lecture's going to be by author Mike Lewis. And just a reminder that third Thursday is coming up in 11 days, not this Thursday, but the next on July 18th.
And Carl, just so everybody can understand, the 803 night's a big night. Not only is it an agreement, not only are we doing it with the Green Jackets, it's going to be Cody Webb, it'll be amphitheater, but everyone will be showing off the new branding campaign. There'll be a lot of swag, the new logo, all of that is going to be announced that night. So it's going to be good.
And we're fired up about it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Next up, Engineering and Public Works, Tom Caesar.
Just a quick update on the Front Street parking improvements that we've been working on. Streets and drains this morning did the final concrete placement. So that's completed. Property maintenance has restored the irrigation system that had to be moved, and we are scheduled to replace the sod that was also had to be removed on Friday. We have some signage to put up. The only outstanding item will be after this week will be the pavement markings, the handicap symbols, and the line striping. That will likely take several weeks until we can apply that to that fresh concrete. And so, but the parking will be available for use in next week.
Do you know where that is?
You're talking about right at Beck Park, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. These are the new handicap spaces to support the kayak.
I'll be on the first side of it. My brain was Front Street. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, last but not least, Human Resources, Mary Bradley.
Mary.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am filling in for Kayla Ferguson. You can look on the back of your department details and you'll see a list of our current employment opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it.
And with that, I'll turn it back over to Assistant Administrator
Great. Thanks, Jamie. So those are all the updates from our departments this evening. So we're going to move on to our focus item this evening, which is an update, which I'm excited to hear about. Update on timeline for GovSense software. So I'm going to invite Linda to come back up and give her second update of the evening and introduce our guests.
Good evening. Tonight I'm going to have a more extensive update on our utility billing. And I have brought with me Paul and Maddie. They're our software, I don't know, what do you call you? Our software people. So they'll be here to answer any questions and to also talk about timelines and things like that. So, ready? So what we're going to discuss tonight will be our notification to the public, our expected changes for the citizens, current online payment options, and the new online payment options. First off will be the notifications to the public. So one thing that we're going to do in office is do robocalls right before due dates, just to remind, once we go live, just to remind everyone that we do have a new online portal, and we will give the URL to get to that portal, and also remind our citizens who pay other ways that they can continue to pay the same way that they have always. GovSense has a great marketing team, so we're going to be working with them to push out numerous social media snippets of things that are going to be coming up, and we will also be able to link to tutorial videos for on how to set up your online portal. We will also have notes on the utility bills with information on the online portal system. And then we're going to work on setting up brochures that will be available in city buildings, or that can be passed out with just a real simplified instructions on how to get there and how to get your new account set up. So these are our expected changes coming to our customers. For our customers that come in the office to pay with our staff, there will be no change. You can still come in, you'll be able to pay cash, check, or charge with our cashiers, the same as they always have. For customers that mail their payments in or use our Dropbox, again, there won't be any change. They will still be able to utilize both those methods. For our customers that pay using their online banking bill pay, there will also be no change. The account numbers will remain the same, so they won't have to make any change to their banking information. The good news about that is our new software will actually be participating with more banks, so we'll get more of those payments sent electronically and less of the paper checks. So again, that'll be a great positive for some of those customers whose bill pay checks get lost in the mail, or they don't make it on time and they get late fees. So that hopefully will be reduced dramatically. And then again, for our customers who are currently set up on automatic draft, there will be no change for them as well. Our current auto draft customers, they have submitted their banking information to us, and we pull that payment monthly, and we will continue to do that. So everything will just transfer over. The only thing for that is we won't be accepting new ACH. We'll have the new stuff going to the portal. But our current auto draft customers will not see a change until they want to see a change. No, you can go ahead. Yes, you can do that going forward. These are just for our current members, our current customers who we are pulling that stuff for them now.
Oh, yeah. You said robocalls go out to all customers prior to their due dates with the information. How long will we be doing those robocalls? Just through July? We're going to carry that through August, or?
Definitely through August.
Okay. And then their social media posts, that will be to where we'll post it on our social media site, and then we can forward that on our Facebook?
Correct. And we'll continue probably to do those throughout the year.
Okay, good.
Because we really want to start getting everyone set up on the new portal. But that's well into the future.
But going forward, if like in July, right now, y'all, ACH debits or debit, my payments are debited by the city.
Correct.
So that's how it's going to happen in July. But in August, if I want to sign up on the portal, then I can, I guess, cancel that and then just go in and pay it on my own.
Correct. And I think it'll automatically cancel because we can't have two ACH payments at
I
the
just
same
initiate
time.
the new method and then the system will do it.
Correct.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So these will be our expected changes for our customers who are currently paying online. The website URL will not change. Customers will be able to set up their own specific payment methods, whether that is one time or it's set up on auto draft, whatnot. And also their payment methods will be saved, so they don't have to enter it in every time. The new application will support a variety of payment abilities. So we can do credit cards, debit cards, ACH, e-checks, PayPal, Apple Pay, and all that will be available to everyone. Customers will be able to see their billing history. They will also be able to sign up for electronic billing. And they'll be able to update their contact information online as well. So if they get a new billing address or a new phone number or a new email address, they can update that on their own.
It's a new day, isn't it?
It's a new day. It's a new day. All right, so what you currently see is the city's website, and this is www.northaugustasc.gov. And you will see that third circle is where we pay online. And so our citizens click that number, and then they see the next slide. This is currently what pulls up. So you must have your account number, and you must have the billing name. So this is not something that you can do on the go because you need your bill with you all the time, unless you have your account number memorized. Next. So once they get that information, this is what pulls up. And I know it's small, but all they can see is their prior balance, their payments, and then the current balance. So we don't get to see any usage or any history. So it's a very limited amount of information that's available. So going forward, once they hit that pay my bill button or pay online button, this is what they're going to see. And so the first time that they get to this page, as you'll see under that login button, it says don't have an account, sign up. That's where they're going to go sign up the first time. So it's going to ask them a series of questions to their name, account number. So they'll want to probably have their bill that very first time that they go to sign up, but they'll be able to find it if not. So there'll be other ways to find that account if they don't have their account number. But the easiest way is obviously going to be to have their bill with them. So once they get logged in, this is what they're going to see. They're going to see their info and all these tabs where they can make changes and update their information. Okay, so this is the fun part. So this is what they'll see under their billing. So they'll be able to see their past bills. They can go and click on the invoice and see the past invoices as well. And you'll notice on the very last one, there's a green button off to the right. And so that's where they'll hit that button to pay their current bill. And then below, you'll see that is where the bill, they'll be able to see when they pull up that invoice. And we have kept it pretty much exactly the same as our old bill. So most people won't even notice the change once we do once we go live. I think that's it. All right, and then I'm going to have Paul talk about our tasks in progress.
Paul, let me just ask you a quick question.
Yes,
Have
sir.
y'all seen on average, an increase in people going to the portal now that it's so user-friendly? And
Absolutely.
any idea what we can expect?
Yes. We've seen this with a lot of our other customers, not only from utility billing or business licensing renewals, but permits and all those other things, which we're also going to be doing for the city as well is that it's really brought down their days of sales outstanding. So the accounts receivable numbers start to really shrink. There's quicker payments, which is fantastic. And then the ease of use for people to be able to do this from wherever they happen to be. They can log on and make their payments and view their usage and all the various other things that they want to be able to do. Absolutely. It's the wave of the future, right? So, have phone will work. And that's how things are going these days. Yeah, exactly. So I'll just continue. So Mayor and City Council, before I begin, I just wanted to really say it's been an absolute pleasure working with the staff here at the City of North Augusta. And I want to just acknowledge Linda, Tara, and the rest of her team. They've just been an absolutely remarkable team to work with, and they've worked very hard and very diligently on everything that we've worked with them. So you should be very proud of the staff that you have here and the work that they've put through so far. Very good.
We are. We worked them hard. They've stepped up.
Yeah.
Done good.
Exactly. So we've got a couple of tasks. We're not quite ready for prime time yet. We've got a few things that we're still working on. So our online customer registration, as Linda had mentioned, and our application for services will be coming forth probably in the next week and a half. We want to be able to display our utility billing data as a graphic and make it more interactive for people if they want to see the last month or last 2 months or whatever that date range happens to be. I think it's very important for people to be able to look at those things and look at their trends and see how they're doing this year versus last year and those types of things. So we're bringing in a lot of the usage history so that people can do that right out of the gate on day one when they start to use the portal. And I think that's a very important aspect for them. Our online form requests for transfer and terminate services will also be done as well, so people can come on and transfer that service or terminate it. And of course, there's a workflow and an approval routing process that would need to be done for turning off and turning on certain things. But those workflows are being worked on with Christy's team as well right now. And then our live payment plugin as well. So as Linda said, payments are becoming much more broad stroke these days and much more elaborate from Apple Pay and Google Pay and all these other different pay systems, right? So it's not a question of if the city will get there, but when. And we'd like to say that you'll be there in the next 4 weeks. So you're far ahead of the curve.
I know we'll get this question. In the future, does it give us the ability to do this as an app?
Yes. Yes. So we are browser agnostic. So whether you're on a tablet, you're on your smartphone, you're on a desktop, laptop, whatever, it won't matter. You should be able to go on and do everything that we just talked about and that Linda just showed you as well today.
So for the person that buys a house in the city that wasn't previously here, like a new customer, can they sign up online and do this?
Yes.
So they don't want to have to come down here and pay $25 to hook it up. They can do it all.
They can process all that, and the workflow will be supported in the back office to ensure that everything is followed.
Yeah, I like that. I'm in real estate. I do that all the time. You got to go down there, pay $25, get it turned on.
No, absolutely. The software, I mean, obviously it's just for utilities at this point, but is this also going to be able to expand to, say, Parks and Rec, our building department, business licenses,
Yes.
things of that nature?
Yes. So as of today, all of the accounting and financial piece is being supported by our software. Utility billing is a big piece of it. Obviously, business licensing will be ready to go live probably in the next 2 weeks. And that will also utilize the same portal. You probably didn't realize, but if you go back to the presentation, business licensing is also in there. So the renewals, the new applications, and all of those types of things. We are also working with the building services group. So things like your online permits for both residential and commercial will also be available. Plan submissions and code enforcement requests and things of that nature as well. So if you want to find out about that guy, whether he cut his grass or not, you can be able to do an anonymous request for a code enforcement case, and it'll be there on record and followed up and everything else. And it's on one unified application across the city. So which will really make it good for senior leadership at the city to be able to manage and do things from a 360-degree view of your customer. So I think it's really important.
What question y'all got for Paul? Everybody feel good about it?
Good.
Yeah, I think this is very proactive, and I think we all have a better idea of what the expectation is.
I guess I will say I appreciate the presentation so that we do know what we're getting ourselves into. So I think this was what we needed to hear and that we can get out to the citizens. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Linda, so much. You and Tara.
All right, Mr. Mayor and Council, that concludes our portion of the study session. Just kick it back over to you for Mayor's Matters.
Only I was going to say was I just wanted to let folks know. We lost a gentleman, Dr. John Bigger, last week. Dr. Bigger, he really was the arts in North Augusta. It was his vision that brought the Arts and Heritage Center to the Municipal Center. Every art group really came from his leadership and vision. And for anybody that knew him, I mean, he helped make North Augusta a better community in his lifetime. So it's a big loss with him. But anyway, I just wanted to put our wishes and prayers out to his son Bob, who's on the Planning Commission. So we're thankful for his service. But anyway, that's all I've got. Anything, Council? Y'all good? All right. You got something? Yeah.
So just give a shout out to William Ryan, who's from North Augusta, was on the hot dog eating contest on Coney Island in July. So, I mean, it's only I don't know how many competitors it was, but from North Augusta.
But he got his name in the little block when it was about 5 and 6 hot dogs.
I saw it.
The winner ended up being it was insane. It was gross. But anyway.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it this morning. He had 24 and a half, I believe.
That's right. Hats off. I couldn't do it.
That's not a pretty sight watching that. But anyway, all right. Thank you all for being here. We stand adjourned.